Hello, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with the finals of ranking the albums. So this was the final two bands that made it all the way here. Got through the four album semifinals, both of them, and the two top albums, which are Gryphon's Red Queen to Gryphon 3. Oh, motorcycle. And the other one is called Big Train, and the album is Folklore. So both of these albums, exceptional albums, I think. Definitely albums I will buy. I had a real difficult time with deciding which one I wanted. I listened to both of them and I wasn't really any closer to making up my mind, and then so I thought about it for a long time, and I think with Big Train, they have very really strong symphonic but lots of really strong instrumentation on their album as well, really catchy tunes, and the vocalist really well within that Peter Gabriel sound. Sometimes I'm closing my mind and it sounds just like him. I mean, he has a little bit of differences on some song where you can actually pick out that it isn't Gabriel, but for a lot of the stuff, it's really, he really has that sound right down. I thought he was, the album itself is tremendous, and I just thought it was just a fantastic album. The other album, Red Queen to Gryphon's 3, when I first heard this album, my first thought when I had listened to it, and then I thought to myself, this is the first round. When we did it in the first round, I thought this is a really quirky album, and the lyrics are a little goofy, and the music is kind of a little bit strange. But the second time through, it went from being like going uphill slowly to all of a sudden it went directly up. And this last time, it's just such a great album. Like, so much unique sound. It's got a lot of that medieval. It's got some medieval sound to it. Not a lot, but a little bit. A lot of folky sound to it. A lot of different types of instrumentation. Yeah, it's never boring. Every time you hear it, you say, "Oh, wow, I never heard that the first time." Yeah, very kind of Gentle Giant-ish at times. I hear some Yes here as well, but even though there's a little bit of both of those going on here, I still think they have a very unique sound. And this time I just thought the album was fantastic. And so I had to choose between two fantastic albums. This was probably the toughest battle of any of the battles in this whole ranking of the albums. To be honest, I wish I could give two winners here, because I think they both deserve it. But ultimately, nobody wins if you crown two champions, right? So you got to crown one. And just by the very slimmest of, like, not even a hair, less than a hair, I'm going to give it to Gryphon. I'm not sure why. I really love the vocal parts and the instrumentation parts on Big Train. But I just think Gryphon, I think the difference was that with Gryphon, it was a sound I can't really compare them to anybody else. They're really quite different, and the album just keeps growing on me more and more. So I think I gave it to it just because I think the instrumentation just a tiny bit better, and just because all of the differences, and because it's just more in my wheel well maybe. But they don't win it by much. It's a hair. I almost gave it to Big Train, which I feel kind of bad because I really like that album a lot too. So there's your winner for this, for the finals, for the ranking of the albums. Gryphon Red Queen to Gryphon 3, and Big Train's Folklore comes in second. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. I'll have a discussion with Ben now that the finals are done. We'll decide when and how much time we want to give a break for this before we're going to start another one. Because I, to be honest with you, this is one of my favorite shows to do now, because I get to hear a lot of stuff that I wouldn't go looking for, because in many cases I didn't even know it existed. Yeah, there's been a few of them where I didn't really like too many of the bands, but you're going to get that when you're listening to new stuff. You can't always like every single thing that you hear, although that's hard to do sometimes. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the finals. Curious to see if anybody would have picked the same as me or would have went the other way. Hit the like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Don't forget to put the comments. Which one do you think is the better album? And don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we will be back probably fairly shortly with the next series of rankings. And I think 8 was perfect too, because 8 is, you do 8 rounds and then you have four rounds. Then you have four albums left for each of the 2 semifinals, and then you just do the finals, which I think works perfectly. Anyways, I hope to see you again when we do this, and take care and have yourself a good day. Bye.